I don't even want to shake J hand. That's how tender night is. Tender night is. Tens on my whip. What going on with you? I don't want to hit today. I don't want to hit. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. Day 4, NFL Combine 2024. Today we have the big boys, guys that can protect the quarterback, trenches. I don't want to hear no excuses today. I don't want to hit. I don't want to hear no excuses. You hear me? I don't want to hit. No excuses. I know we had a lot of fun talking about receivers yesterday. We talked about quarterbacks. We talked about cornerbacks and D linemen and all that. But at the end of the day, you ain't going nowhere until that O line is corrected. And of course, D line. But for the Bucs' sake, they really need to get this right this year on the offensive line. Last year they went 2 defensive linemen. Hopefully they go 2 offensive linemen this year, interior wise. You have to upgrade the left guard and center. You have no choice. They went first round D line, third round D line. Don't be surprised the Bucs go first round O line, third round O line. You got to build the trenches. You got to come out of this draft with 2 linemen. It's a deep class. I don't want to hear Jackson Powers Johnson, Graham Barton, the West Virginia center. They're all going to be sitting there at 26. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Now, luckily, the Bucs don't need a tackle right now. I will be hard fetched to believe that, or I can be easily convinced that there are several tackles that will be better than Luke Gedeke right now. Without a question, without a doubt, better than Luke Gedeke right now. Rookies. I'm not saying Luke Gedeke is terrible. He ain't great. He's okay. But I promise you, hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? There's probably about 7 offensive tackles that's going to be better than Luke Gedeke. One thing about it I know about the NFL, when it comes to O-line and D-line, you can't be afraid to draft again at the same position. You can't be afraid if your position is lukewarm at best and that position can be upgraded. You cannot be afraid to upgrade the position. You cannot hold on to players that are not performing. Now, Luke Gedeke, he's made improvements from his rookie season in the interior to the right tackle in his second season. Now he's going into his third season. We're going to see how much of an improvement that he goes from, because he went from probably going to be out the league in the interior O-line to being a serviceable right tackle. Now, year 3 for Luke Gedeke, he's going to have to show a really big jump. You don't have 3 years. You got your NFL strength. Year 3, I need to see Luke Gedeke jump in the top 10 at right tackle or top 15. And I'm not talking about no guessing and maybe he's top 15. He needs to jump in there now. This is year 3 is the big jump for him. If he plays like he played last year in 2024, well, in 2025, the Bucs probably need to think about upgrading that position. So I'm giving Luke Gedeke 1 more year. 1 more year. That's it. That's it. And as far as the right guard, Cody March got 2 years. Last year's rookie season, it was okay. It wasn't really good. It was okay. I don't even know how to grade that rookie season. I'm probably going to give him a D+, C-. Joe Alt is moving. But year 2, I'm expecting to see some jump. They did say something about Cody March could be the future center. So if they move on from Robert Hainsley or make him a backup, whatever, and put Cody March at center, I wouldn't be mad at that either, right? Because they say he can play center, and they might be grooming him for that. He needs to gain a little more weight and some better in pass blocking and run blocking. He did not display those areas really well last year. Center-wise, the Bucs really need to upgrade there. Bad. I mean, it's not even a question. It's not, like I said, Nothing against Robert Hainsley, but let's be real. Let's be real about Robert Hainsley. Shout out to Robert Hainsley, the young man. He's doing the best he can. But let's be real. The Bucks need to upgrade the center position ASAP. They need a Creed Humphrey. They need a Jason Kelsey type guy. Like bad. They really need that guy. And Robert Hainsley can play guard too. He could be a swing backup interior guy, like a swing guy, like a swing guard, swing center. If somebody get hurt at guard or center, he can come in and play. But he's not a starter. Let's be real. He was a third round pick, by the way. But definitely need to upgrade the center. And definitely need to upgrade the left guard position. Matt Freer was a fill-in. He was not good. And Aaron Stinney, not good. So the three interior spots are in question. And there are three guys, even Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe will be good. There's four guys the Bucks can get in the first 3 rounds. Well, in the first 2 rounds, I'm sorry, because I don't think some of these guys are going to make it past the second round. So you got the West Virginia center, you got Graham Barton, you got Jackson Powers Johnson, you got Cooper Beebe. We got to get upgrades at that interior spot, and we could probably get a guy in the 3rd round. So don't be surprised the Bucks go O-line twice this draft. And I wouldn't even be mad they go O-line the first 2 rounds, center and guard. I wouldn't be mad if the Bucks trade up in the 2nd round to get another guard. Like they draft Jackson Powers Johnson, and then they trade back up in the 2nd round, to go get a guard, a left guard. I would not be mad at that, because how can you be mad at the Bucks doing something like that when they definitely need to pick up their O-line? Now I know we have other positions need, but I'm just letting y'all know I wouldn't be mad at the Bucks drafting 2nd round, 1st and 2nd round O-lineman interior. I wouldn't be mad, center and guard, because they sorely need that. Now, if they just go center, then that center can make up for the guard. He can help the guard out. Or if they go guard, he can help the center out. So either position, they need to upgrade left guard and center, right? But I'm gonna jump back on this tackle situation with Luke Gedeke. He didn't do bad, but I'm just saying I believe there's going to be some guys in this draft class immediately better than Luke Gedeke. And there's no offense to Luke Gedeke. I know you love him some Luke Gedeke, but there's some guys in this draft class that's going to be clearly better than him. It's not even close. So, in a perfect world, if one of those top 5 tackles fall, you can't possibly pass up on those guys, right? I mean, a lot of receivers coming off the board and quarterbacks coming off the board. If it gets to that area at 20, pick 20, 22, and there's a really good old lineman sitting there, yeah, you might want to go get him. Like that Jackson Powers Johnson guy, I don't think he might not make it to 26. The Dallas Cowboys might pluck him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just gotta, I don't know. It just, you gotta go get your guy. If he's a surefire upgrade, you can't wait. I tell you that much. Brandon Coleman, he's solid. TCU got some players. But this class, I ain't even gonna lie. This draft class as a whole is pretty good. I have not seen a class this good in some years. Like every year we have a class that's like heavy this and heavy that. But when you look at the layout for 2024 draft class, how can the Bucks not get a top interior O lineman or a really good D lineman or a really good cornerback in the first 2 rounds? How can they not do that? I will be shocked if the Bucks don't come out here with 2 top 100 players starting right away. I will be absolutely shocked. Why are they trying to play? They trying to play with Michael Penix Jr. in the mock draft. Daniel Jeremiah, his mock draft don't even have Penix going in the top 25. Why they playing around with Michael Penix like that, man? They got Darren Jeremiah got the Bucks drafting Adonai Mitchell. They got the Bucks drafting a receiver. Yeah, Zach Frazier. That's his name. How does he not have Michael Penix in the first round? But he got JJ McCarthy going in the first round. How in the Daniel Jeremiah, man, he's weird. How the hell you don't have Michael Penix in the first round at quarterback? How do you have JJ McCarthy going in front of Michael Penix Jr.? Did you not see the workout yesterday, Daniel Jeremiah? Are you tripping? You still tripping? He reminds me of Tristan Wirfs. Oh wow. You still tripping? No Bucks. What's up, Tony? It's ridiculous. He is not better than Michael Penix. Michael Penix is so much more productive and more NFL ready. You got question marks about JJ McCarthy. We haven't seen enough. We don't know if he can run it. We haven't seen it, what he can really do. But that's not the question with Michael Penix. Oh, in Michael Penix injury history. Yeah, the last 2 seasons he was healthy. And they ain't talking about that. Healthy and productive. What up, man? Cody? Adam Shavers, what's up, man? I can't believe the media is pushing JJ McCarthy in the first round like this, man. He's not a first round quarterback. He hasn't done anything to prove. Like, he won national championship. So what? Why does the media do this every year with these quarterbacks, with these certain type of quarterbacks, with this certain type of look? They always push them into the first round. Unbelievable. How do you not have Penix in the first round? After this past season, at the Senior Bowl he threw well. This past season he threw well. The Senior Bowl he threw well. At the Combine he threw well. He interviewed well. His medicals checked out. He's the best thrower in the class. And Daniel Jeremiah, a well-respected guy in the NFL community as far as, talking points, he don't have him in the first round. He got JJ, aka he got JJ McCarthy, aka Zach Wilson, aka Christian Ponder, aka Mitchell Trubisky, aka Kenny Pickett in the first round. What are we doing here? AKA EJ Manuel in the first round. Don't belong in the first round. It is so clear to see that. Now, if the young man turned to be really good, okay, he got me. But going into the draft, hell no. Not even close to Michael Penix playing quarterback. Not even close. What are we doing here? I hate media narratives because they want to see their guy go in the first round. Anyway, back to the O-line, man. Back to the O-line. I would be hard-fetched to see the Bucks not getting 2 O-linemen in this draft class. It will be impossible. How do you not come out of this draft with O-line, D-line, O-line, O-line, D-line, O-line, something. You there's an opportunity for the Bucks to get 2 of the top 100 players at 26 and 52. And even at 52, that's a trading spot. 26, 52 are trading spots. The Bucks have a great opportunity to get two of the top 100 players at 26 and 52, or if they really want to get funky with it, they can trade back from 26 to 30 and pick up a third round pick and a sixth round pick. They can trade back from 52 to 55 and pick up another pick. If the Bucks can get really funky with it, like if a team want to go back in the first, like let's just say Michael Penix is there at 26, right? And a team calling back to jump back into the first round, like the Broncos, possibly the Patriots, the Falcons, the Vikings, whatever. They want to trade back into the first round to draft Michael Penix. What do the Bucks do? What do they do? If Michael Penix is sitting there at 26, the Bucks are getting phone calls from teams wanting to trade back into the first round at 26 to draft Michael Penix. What do the Bucks do? What do the Bucks do? Oh yeah, Jason, like he's not a fan of trading up. Yeah, he's not a fan. I think he's done it one time, I believe, for Tristan Wirfs, right? Did he trade up for Tristan? No, it wasn't Tristan Wirfs. It was I forgot who it was. But if Michael Penix is sitting there at 26 and the Bucks is getting phone calls about him, do they trade back, pick up a early second round pick, or whatever, pick up a second round pick and another third round pick and a sixth round? If they get a phone call at 26 for Michael Penix and teams are willing to give up three picks, like they're willing to give up their second, which that means the Bucks will have two second round picks, and they're willing to give up a third, which means they'll have a two third round picks, and then a fourth, which they can fill up that fourth round pick that they don't have. What would you do? 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 Bam, 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 bam. What would you do? I don't know what would the Bucks do. To be honest with you, but it'd be hard fit. I don't know, man. That Mike Evans situation, it does kind of complicate things a little bit. It really does. It's like, damn it, man. I wish they would have signed Mike Evans, and then we wouldn't have this issue, man, of him wanting to play for a Super Bowl quarterback and a team that's contending for a Super Bowl and all this nonsense. I don't know, man. What would you do? The, so the boss got some. I think they met with Michael Penix, right? I think the Bucks did have an informal meeting. Was it a formal meeting or informal? I think the Bucks had a. I think the Bucks had. They met with Michael Penix, but I forgot which one it was. Was it informal or formal? Oh, so that was a real so a formal meeting. So let me explain this, folks. A formal meeting means Jason Light in the room, Todd Bowles in the room, and all the top brass. All the top brass. That means the top brass is doing their due diligence. Jason, shout out to Jason Light for meeting with Michael Penix and Todd Bowles. You got to. You got to meet with the young man. You will be doing yourself a disservice not having an informal meeting with Michael Penix. Now, JJ McCarthy, why are we interviewing him? Spencer Rattler, it's cool. He all right. Got some potential. But yeah, formally met with Michael Penix. Thank you, Jason Light. At least, because guess what? Little legs. What if the Bucs don't pick him at 26? And then in the second round, the Bucs be like, I gotta go get Penix in the second round. Yeah. Bruce Arians, he likes my. Hold on. Did y'all see what Warren Moon said about Michael Penix? Warren Moon, the quarterback that was blackballed out of the NFL for like 6 years, played in the Canadian Football League, broke records. The NFL didn't want him in the 80s. Finally got through in the NFL, Hall of Fame quarterback. Go look at Warren Moon's. He tweeted about Michael Penix. Go look at what Warren Moon said. I'm going to listen to Warren Moon. Warren Moon. The great Warren Moon. The man that got blackballed from the NFL because they didn't like how he threw the ball. He was an African-American pocket passer. And they didn't want that. And they finally let him in. He got the same, he got numbers up there with Dan Marino, John L. He got numbers, man. And you notice he's not really talked about when it comes to all-time great quarterbacks for whatever reason. For whatever reason, they don't talk about Warren Moon and his accomplishments. Well, for whatever reason, Warren Moon, go look at what Warren Moon said about Michael Penix. Because if the Bucs go interior O-line, which I am totally fine, I'm great with that, and they need to do that. But in the second round, if Penix is sitting there, what do you do? Now you can get Penix for the cheap. Warren Moon. Just saying, man. What do you do? What would you do? I might be able to do that. But, I shout out to Jason Light. Formal meeting with Michael Penix. And I spoke on this yesterday. If the Bucs draft Michael Penix at 26 or 52, people from Tampa are going to hate. Do you hear me? They're going to hate on Michael Penix. 52. I'm just saying. I might be able to do that. They formally met with Michael Penix. Thank God. And I think they did that, even if they don't draft. I think they did that because he's from the crib. You got to interview him. Braden Fisk, man, he nice. I'm just saying, man. Warren Moon. The Bucks, I will say this. Jason Light is doing a great job of meeting with guys that will probably be there at 26. What's going on with Taylor Lewan? Is he gonna get back in the NFL or he just hurt? Or they just kind of like saying no thanks. Like every team don't want to. I'm surprised Taylor Lewan not playing in the NFL. He's like 32, I think 31, 32. I think he got some bad injury history too. He looks smaller too. What's so crazy is Michael Penix from the crib, and I just got a feeling if the Bucks draft him, people are going to hate on him. Like our own fan base they not gonna like the pick, especially the Baker Bros. Think about this: a guy from Tampa playing a position, quarterback position, went to high school in Tampa, get drafted by the Bucks, and people gonna hate because they want Baker Mayfield. I'm just saying because they prefer Baker Mayfield. They prefer to pay Baker Mayfield 35, $40 million. Taylor Lewan got small. Jesus. I don't think he's gonna get back in the NFL. Cooper Beebe, I mentioned him earlier. Cooper Beebe, nice man. Watched him at Kansas State. Don't do your research, folks. Don't wait on me. Yeah, Taylor Lewan had some bad. He had a knee injury or something like that. Something happened, and he said he wanted to play football again. He said he didn't retire, but I don't. Yeah, I think he's done, man. Nobody gonna mess with it. Even at 32 years old, I think he got some bad knees. Dog, Michael Penix's hand is over 10 inches long, like 10 inches wide. I think it's like 10, what, 10/4 or 10/7/8. He got some big hands. And he's 6'2" and like 7/8 to 3/4, basically almost 6'3", 220 pounds, has huge hands, 81 inch, 81 inch wingspan. 81 inch wingspan. That's what Michael Penix is working with. Warren Moon. Warren Moon know what he's talking about. But the Bucks are in a good position this draft to get some good players. I would say that, and I hope Jason Light does the right thing and just get the productive guys. These old linemen fast, bro. Good lord. What's gonna be a lot of good offensive linemen coming in this draft. They just gonna be like 6 linemen drafted in the first round and like 8 receivers, 7, 6, 7, 8 receivers. It's gonna be like what 6, 7 linemen. I seen somebody say it's gonna be like 12 receivers in the first round. Then you got what 4, 5 quarterbacks possibly, right? There will be no running backs in the first round. There'll be a couple of D linemen, a couple of cornerbacks, one tight end. He needs to lose some weight because he's slow. And he got a receding hairline at a young age too. It's crazy. O-lineman looking good. But these O-linemen, bro, every year it seems like they just look better. And the thing about it, the O-linemen are looking more leaner. They're looking in much better shape. There's a couple of guys that's not in great shape, but a lot of these O-linemen are lean as hell. They taking their craft serious, bro. I remember back in the day, O-linemen used to be sloppy joppies, sloppy joes. But now these old linemen looking like bodybuilders, damn near. They looking like wrestlers for real. They taking care of their body now. They're not looking like sloppy joppies, sloppy joes. I like this year's O line. I like the interior. I like the tackles. I like everything about this O lineman class because you can get whatever you're looking for, you can get. And Jason Light, stop playing with me about this O line, dog. Stop playing with me, Jason Light, about this O line, man. I am so sick of the Bucks O line not being able to run the ball. And this dates back to 2016. From 2016 to 2023, the Bucks run game has been terrible. Terrible. Bottom 7. Average. I had the numbers. I think it averaged out to like 25 in the NFL from 2016 to 2023. Terrible. I don't care what any Bucks fans say. You can't argue that the Bucks run game is terrible. Do not lie to yourself. The Bucks running game not that bad. That's the O-line fault. That's the running back fault. That's the O-line coach fault, Joe Gilbert and the previous O-line coach. That's Dort Cutter fault. That's Bruce Arians' fault. That's Todd Bowles' fault. That's Dort Cutter fault. Run game has not been effective for 7, 8 years. I'm so sick of it. The last good running game we had was Doug Martin. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick and tired of looking up at the Bucs running game. Can't get third and ones, third and twos, and fourth and ones. I'm so sick of it. And that's Jason Light's fault for putting out garbage O-line year after year. And I ain't talking about individual players. I'm talking about overall garbage O-line. Garbage. Capital G. Stop playing with me, Bucs fans. You better stop playing with me and stop settling for mediocre. I want the Bucs O-line. I want the Bucs run game to be top 15. Top 15 this year. I want the Bucs O-line to go from 31 to 15-14. Stop playing with me. Jason Light and you Bucs fans that's lying to yourself. Quit lying to yourself. It's not good. Warren Moon. Y'all know I'm big on the trenches. You can't sit up here and convince me nothing about the trenches looking good. You can't be a really good O-line with a terrible running game. I don't care who on your O-line. Well, the Bucs got Tristan Wirfs. He's really good. He's all pro. Yep. And the Bucs O-line run O-line. The run game is 31st in the NFL. That's with the all-pro left tackle. Stop playing with me. The truth hurts. Hashtag facts over feelings. The fact of the matter is, regardless of how you feel about the Bucs running game, how you feel about the Bucs O-line, how you feel about Rachaad White, it's not good. Bucs O-line overall is not good. You can spin it how you want to spin it. You can spin it 7 different ways. But guess what? It all comes back to reality. The Bucs run game was 31st in the NFL. Yards per carry, terrible. Bottom 5. You can't get around that. But the Bucs got Tristan Wirfs. I don't care. The Bucs run game is terrible. That is Jason Light's fault. That is Todd Bowles' fault. That was Joe Gilbert's fault. Rachaad White, O-line fault. Everybody has it. Everybody got to take the blame. I don't care. You got one All-Pro and the rest Jags. Tristan Wirfs can't do everything, and he got to run block better. It's Tristan Wirfs and the Temptations. Do you hear me? I'm washing my doing my dishwasher here in the background. You hear that noise? It's Tristan Wirfs and the Temptations. Tristan Wirfs and the Temptations. If you was to say NFL teams, you got the pick of the. You can pick any offensive lineman on the Bucs that you want to start for your team right now. Teams that need an O-line, they only looking at Tristan Wirfs. We don't have any other player on that O-line that's starting that teams are going to be like, I'll take him. Outside of Tristan Wirfs, what does that tell you? Jags. Too many Jags on the O-line. Not enough dogs. We got too many meows. Tristan Wirfs and the Temptations. We got too many Jags on the O-line. We got 4 Jags. Too many Jags. But I guarantee you this, though, in this O-line draft class, it's going to be quite a bit of these guys that's pretty good that can upgrade the Bucs O-line. That's a fact. That's a fact. There's some guys in this draft class on the O-line, especially in the interior O-line, that can really improve the Bucs O-line, and that's a fact. That is no way around it. he said, he said we got way too many who that on the Bucs. Who that there? I don't know. Yeah, we do got too many of those. We got too many who that. We don't have too many facial recognition guys. You can walk past those guys at Brandon Mall or West Shore Mall. You can walk right by them. Got too many who that? Who that there? That is true. Fire the cannons go Bucks. We got too many who that there.
First thing he told me, he's like, is the lettuce getting some action? That would be his hair. So
who that there?
The lettuce is getting some action. He is pumped. And as for who takes care of it, his fiance, Caitlin Brown, she gives him this goop, keeps it nice and curly. And here's the backstory on his hair. He actually had a mullet like 4 years ago, he said.
He said we got too many who that on the Bucks. Who that? I like that. Hashtag who that? Not the Saints though. Who that there? Yeah, we got too many of those, man. Too many of those on the O-line. We got 4 who that? We got 4 who that there? Gobbledygoops. Got too many gobbledygoops on the O-line. We got a couple on the D-line too. We got a couple of who that there on the D-line. Gobbledygoops on that O-line.
With him on the dead run, just annihilating other human beings. Sprinting outside and bodies go flying. It's a yard sale when Trent Williams gets out there. That's it. I just wanted an excuse to be able to show that. Nicely done. We're going to send
it Donald Penn, Jeremy Trueblood, and Dalvin Joseph. Those guys was rugged. Those guys was rugged. Too many gobbledygoops.
Looks like you burned a Pop-Tart there. Tan did that? Wow. Tan even then this time can. Look at the lettuce go.
Too many gobbledygoops on the O-line. We got 4 gobbledygoops. We got four gobbledygoops. We need some goons on that O-line. He said, who that there? I don't know. He said, we got too many who that's. Who that there? I don't know. She even Rashad White, who that there? We got 4 who that there's on the O-line. We got a who that there in the backfield. We got 2 who that there at cornerbacks. We got 1 who that there at safety. We got a couple of who that there on the D-line. Too many. Too many. One too many. One too many. Who that there? Who that there? You got too many guys that you can walk right past in the mall. Adam Shavers, $5 subject. All these Jason Light lovers. When he picked these guys from Google search college. Oh, Adam Shavers, that was a good one. Picking guys with a Google college search. He goes in and types in www.google.com. Who should I draft? Man, come on, man. Cut the crap, man. Go get Trey Benson at running back in the third round, man. Stop playing. Go get Jonathan Brooks in the third round, man. He's at www.google.com. Search. Who should I draft? Too many gobbledygooks. We got too many gobbledygooks, man. Oh, Mopar Buck. Shout out to Adam Shavers. Mopar Buck with the 100. He dropped 100 today, man. Good God Almighty, $100? He ain't have to do all that, man. We're just talking about the combine right now and the Bucks roster in the trenches. Gobbledygook. That's what Tristan was. Too many gobbledygooks. One too many gobbledygooks.
Defender. For what he does, he uses that length and pass protection. In the run game, he can create a ton of movement, and he takes outstanding angles working up to the second level. As you see him just clobber a linebacker. Just a really
formal meetings, basically. Keon Coleman, Latu, Brandon Fisk, Brayton Fisk, Michael Penix Jr., Adissa, Isaac, Marshawn Nealon, Andrew Wiggins. I think you meant Nate Wiggins, the cornerback. Andrew Wiggins? That's not the basketball player, right? Jackson Powers Johnson, Graham Barton, Cooper Beebe, Dominic Puny, Christian Hayes, Kamar Lassiter, Kate Stover, Javon Bullard. Jason Light goes to the casino and say, who should I draft? Jason Light, he goes to the fantasy draft board and think he's the smartest guy in the room. ICDC. Oh, I remember that commercial, man. Y'all remember ICDC commercial? Late night. If you're laying on your couch and you ain't got nothing going on in your life, go to ICDC and become a GM. Go to the Jason Light School of GM. It's Nate Wiggins, man, not Andrew Wiggins. Nate Wiggins. Come on, Mopar Buck. It's Nate Wiggins, not Andrew Wiggins. He actually, I've seen his measurables. He is long. He's like 176 pounds, though. He need to get some weight on him. No, I'm just having fun with Jason Light, man. We're just having fun, man. Tony, come on, calm down, Tony. Calm down, Tony. I know. We just having fun, man. Don't take it personal. Look, I like having fun too, man. I like having fun, Tony. Where you been at? You ain't been around in a while, Tony. We're just having a little fun with Jason Light, man. You know, he has his good picks. Don't get me wrong, but damn, he got some picks that you got to laugh at too now. Cooper Beebe looks good in the field drill. Cooper Beebe looks good, man. Look, here's the thing about Jason Light. You can't just talk about the good. You have to talk about what he messed up at too. You can't cover up his mess ups, his F ups. You can't cover up his flaws. You can't sit up here and ignore Jason Light botching a couple drafts, man. Botching a couple positions. Setting the franchise back a couple years on the O-line and D-line. You just can't overlook that. I mean, I don't think I don't believe he's an elite GM. I think he's average at best. He's done. I mean, yeah, I get it. Super Bowl ring, but hey, let's be real. He brought in 7 new starters from free agency. He couldn't do it through the draft. Do I have to repeat this story again, folks? Do I have to bring this up again, folks? Prior to up until from Jason Light when he got the title as the GM in 2014, from 2014 to 2019, he hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything remotely worth keeping after 2009. But what people don't realize is this guy really did not like the Super Bowl team. People don't realize this. He changed out 7 guys. See, people like to focus on the quarterback position, but they ignore. So let me break this down for y'all. I love this conversation because the media tried to run with it was the same team, and it was an absolute lie. So he upgraded the quarterback position. He went from Winston to Brady. Let's break this down, folks. It's all ties into the trenches too. He goes from Winston to Brady. Clear upgrade. Huge upgrade. Right? Cameron Brate to Rob Gronkowski. Huge upgrade. Antonio Brown coming into the team. Huge upgrade. He was the best receiver on the team. He was the best receiver on the team, and not even close. He was the best route runner. He had the best acceleration. He had the best separation ability. Huge upgrade. And then he brought in Leonard Fournette, which was a great addition to the team. So that's 4. So 3 starters right away. Brady, Gronkowski, AB, and then Leonard Fournette splitting carries with Ronald Jones, and then he took over the starting position at the end of the year. So that's 4 starters. Okay. And then he went from Matt Gay to Ryan Succop. So that's 5. 5 starters right there. That's not through the draft. That's through free agency. 5 starters through free agency. He got to swap out 5 guys. Okay, 5 guys. It upgraded the position. This is why I laugh at the media knuckleheads that try to say it was the same team. It was a quarterback away. You a goddamn lie. It was not a quarterback away. And then that's not even counting Tristan Wirfs and Winfield Jr. Neither one of them played in 2019. So that was 7 new starters. He upgraded the left tackle position. He upgraded the safety position. 7 new starters. Nobody talk about that. How can people ignore that? 7 new starters on that Super Bowl team in 2020. Yeah, but Jason Light was on his way out. If it wasn't for Tom Brady and his super friends, Tom Brady was out the door. I mean, I'm sorry, not Tom Brady. If it wasn't for Tom Brady and his super friends, Jason Light was out the door. That was a freaking lie. And then you know what's so crazy about Bruce Arians? The old man Bruce Arians, bold-faced lie. He's like Sal says, he sells snake oil. He tried to push this narrative that the Bucs were a quarterback away, and then the media went with it. I don't need my quarterback throwing a lot of interceptions. Little do he know, your offense is designed like that. So you mean to tell me Bruce Arians and the media gonna sit up and ignore that his offense, no risk it, no biscuit, turnover-driven offense, and they didn't talk about it. Like, how in the world you don't talk about that? Every quarterback in his system threw a lot of interceptions, career high. Media didn't care about it, and Bruce Arians didn't care about it. Are you kidding me?
Sean, on the positional value, being inside that room, how important is it nowadays to have
Carson Palmer even said it himself. The second year in the system, your numbers get even better. Even Carson Palmer, who threw 22 interceptions in the no risky, no biscuit offense. Go look at the second season of Carson Palmer under the no risky, no biscuit offense. Much better. Big Ben, Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning. You feel me? Stop playing with me, man. I do my research. And then when Brady came into the no risky, no biscuit system, the Bucs were 7-5. 7-5, struggling. The media all season long, up until 7-5, every week they complained about where's the motion, where's this? There's no man's in motion. They're not getting guys open. They're doing this. The throws take too long. Blah blah blah. They complain left and right about the Bruce Arians offense. What did they do? Week 13, at the bye week, they changed the offense for Tom Brady, so it was no longer the no risky, no biscuit. Nobody said nothing about it, but a few people talking about it was the same offense. No, it wasn't. Stop playing with me. Exactly. Tom Brady was throwing pick after pick after pick, and boom, change the offense. Quick throws. Get back to the New England style. So Tom Brady never played under the true no risk it, no biscuit. He didn't make those option throws. Zach Frazier, I like him. I like Zach Frazier. Tom Brady never played a full season of the no risk it, no biscuit. If he would have finished that season under the true no risk it, no biscuit, Tom Brady was going to probably throw 15 to 17 interceptions. Tom Brady was on his way to throwing 15 to 17 interceptions. And he had no run game. Stop playing with me. He was on his way to throwing 15 to 17 interceptions that year. They complained about the running game with Tom Brady. They complained about the route combinations with Tom Brady. Bruce Arians got to stop calling plays. Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich, they got to stop calling option plays for the receivers because Tom Brady couldn't read the receivers' option routes. Because when you, as a quarterback under the true no risk and no biscuit system, the receiver and the quarterback need to be on the same page. That means what the receiver sees and the quarterback sees, like whatever the quarterback sees, the receiver need to see it too. That means there's an option. You break in, you break out. There's no design of you go 15 yards and curl. It's an option route. Option. Do you know how hard it is to run an offense that's based on option routes? That means you got to trust your receiver to go where you think he's going to go. And Tom Brady couldn't do that for a full season. They changed the offense. He had 12 interceptions. They changed the offense. Dink, don't, tight end, AB, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette dump off. That's what they did for the last 4 games of the regular season into the playoffs. Nobody said nothing about it. They try to cover it up, but not me. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me the media complain about the routes and the play calling, the route combinations, the option routes, and lack of motion when Brady got here. But they said nothing about that prior to Brady getting here. Why? So you mean to tell me the media only see what they see? I didn't hear no complaints from the media about no risky, no biscuit in 2019. Let me get this straight. The media didn't complain about Bruce Arians' no risky, no biscuit offense in 2019. But in 2020, they sure did complain. They was making segments about it, spending 15 minutes of talking about it. Why weren't they talking about it in 2019? It's the same offense. Same offense in 2019. Brady went through the same offense for the first 12 games. Until they scratched all that and started dinking and dunking with the tight end, AB, and Leonard Fournette checkdowns. Why didn't the media talk about it in 2019? Why wasn't the media on Bruce Arians' head about the no risky, no biscuit offense in the option routes? I want to know. I want to know why the media ignored the no risky, no biscuit offense in 2019. But they did not ignore it. They didn't turn their nose away when Brady got here. Brady was having a hard time dealing with the option routes. Anyway, enough of that. You a handshaker, rumble pack. Don't get me started about. Boy, I could do this all day about the Bucs, the trenches, the system. I can do it all day, and it's all facts. What lie am I telling? They complained about the O-line. They complained about Donovan Smith. But nobody cared until Brady got here in the media. Let that sink in. The media was literally crying for Bruce Arians to change the offense, to have Brian Leftwich call different plays. They were literally crying for it. Do you hear me, folks? They were crying week after week about Bruce Arians' no risky, no biscuit offense is not a good fit for Tom Brady. Then they complained about the O-line. And pick and choose what they want to see, man. That's how the media works. Stop playing with me. Let's get back to this O-line, though. This O-line class is good. I like this O-line draft class. Stop playing with me. I can do this all day, and I'm not telling no lies, because I do this. So it was not the same team that the Bucs won the Super Bowl with in 2019 to 2020. It was not the same team. There were 7 new starters. Okay, let's get that clip. I never ran with that BS media. First down. I ain't telling no lies. Y'all know I ain't telling no lie. No flex zone. No flex zone. But anyway, this O-line class, they look good, man. Outside and interior. Look at the Bucs offense now. Can't score no point. Well, this past season, the Bucs scored 21 points a game, or 21.2. They still wasn't good in a lot of games. They was good in some games, but they was not good in some games. So, if they resign Baker Mayfield, they got to upgrade the O-line. And I'm gonna keep saying this about Baker Mayfield. If you want the best version of Baker Mayfield, the Bucs need to get a really good O-line and a really good running game, because Baker Mayfield is not going to give you another level. I'm gonna keep that 100 with y'all.
Whoever is the most prepared is the one that's gonna dominate.
My service is always in front of me.
I'm gonna keep that 100 with y'all. What you seen with Baker Mayfield last year, that's his ceiling.
It's really essential on game day. When you out there, the brain is moving extremely fast, heart pumping, surface, it just slows it all down.
That's his ceiling. That's the best Baker Mayfield you're gonna see. And remember, there were no expectations this past season on Baker Mayfield. Now there are some expectations. I'm just saying. Now you're talking about the Falcons and the Patriots interested. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now remember, they did say Baker Mayfield's going to have a ton of interest. Where's the ton of interest? Where's the ton of interest? I'm sorry. It was a lie. Is my point. The Bucs are bidding against themselves for Baker Mayfield services. I'm telling y'all, man. That's in my opinion, though. Baker Mayfield has had a career season in a contract year. Pro Bowl alternative. We've seen that before with Tampa. People don't realize how players play when they're trying to get paid. They play different. Yeah. See, this is what people don't realize. See, when you throw the numbers out there, that's good for Baker Mayfield. But see, when it comes to elite quarterback play, that's average. That's an average season, folks. In a 17-game season. He barely made over 4,000 yards in a 17-game season in a passing league. What are we doing here? And they're talking about $40 million? Are you serious? Are you serious? In my Triple G voice. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's Patrick Mahomes' worst year. It should not take you 17 games, though, for 4,000 yards in a passing league. And the Baker Bros were beating their chest about it, too. Oh, he had a career year. He's an elite. He was a Pro Bowl alternative. Winston was a Pro Bowl alternative, wasn't he? I will say this. Baker Mayfield will never be more productive than Tom Brady. He will never be more productive than Jameis Winston for the Bucs. He will never reach those two productivity. Yards, points, area, all that. He's never been a highly productive quarterback. He will never be as productive as Tom Brady and Jameis Winston. Understanding that on their pro days, you're going to see some of the other things that you're talking about before. But Fred the Sled, not here. It was an easy pitch for Let me get that clip. He will never be more productive as Tom Brady. He will not be productive as Tom Brady or Jameis Winston with the Bucs. He will never reach that. He's never been that type of quarterback. Ever. He's average, my boy. BWOI. You can hate on Winston all you want to, but that young man was productive at the time. And Baker Mayfield has never been like that. Never. He had to have a top 5 O-line. He had to have a top 5 running game to look decent. He's never been highly productive. One of the reasons why his season was so average is that's what he is. That's it. I don't even know why people get mad. I'm not mad at Baker Mayfield. I know what he is. I'm not even mad at that guy. It is not his fault. It's just what he is. He's not a terrible quarterback. But if you think you're going to stand on top of that mountain and think Baker Mayfield is really that dude, no, man. He's a wiry, fire-driven, fire-breathing, moxie, whatever the hell that word means to quarterbacks, moxie, swagger, like, All those and adjectives and words to describe Baker Mayfield, that's just a lack of what you can really say about him. When you got to use words like moxie, he got fire, he got grit, and all this stuff, man. When you got to describe quarterbacks with adjectives and all that stuff, man, man, come on, man, come on, man. Let's be real. 7 years in the league, first 4,000 yard season. Remember, folks, I'm gonna keep bringing this up because I want y'all to see this in the perspective. He had a top 5 O line in Cleveland. What did he do? They moved on from him because if he was really that guy, they wouldn't have moved on from him. Don't get me wrong. He's revived his career, but you have to be careful with Baker Mayfield because he's average at best. No matter how you try to put this situation and make it seem like he's elite, he's not elite. He's average at best. And I'm going to keep saying this. If you want the best version of Baker Mayfield, get the O-line right and get that running game right. I promise you will love Baker Mayfield even more when he got those two things at his disposal. Because you got to protect Baker Mayfield.
You're used to seeing those guys come out of different stances, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, you guys have different stances all the time. For me, a lot of coaches like to preach.
Just saying.
We do this stance, and that's what we're going to do.
Like people, like the thing about football is people pick and choose what they like and what they don't like about a player. This is Baker Mayfield's 7th year in the league. What more do you want from Baker Mayfield? What more do you want from me? A lot of batted balls, a lot of drop picks. Yeah, the receivers dropped some balls, but if we're going to count that, make sure you add more context. You can't leave out the overall picture. Yes, Mike Evans dropped the ball. K-Dot dropped some balls. Mike Evans dropped some balls. Gow dropped a few of them. Trey Palm dropped a few of them. But also, the other team's secondary dropped some interceptions. So we cannot leave out what you don't want to see or what you don't want to hear. You can't paint a picture on what colors you want to paint with. When you're talking about a player, you have to tell the whole story. You can't point out, well, drop balls. What about the batted balls? You didn't mention that. What about the drop interceptions? You didn't mention that, but you mentioned drop balls. I get it, man. I get it. You're trying to paint a narrative, but it don't work over here. Baker Bro. That's what Baker Bros do. The minute you talk about the entire picture of Baker Mayfield, you're hating. This is not hate. This is facts. Drop interceptions, tip balls at the line, and receivers dropping the ball, all what Baker Mayfield experienced. He experienced all those things. You cannot leave out the drop interceptions and the batted balls. That's like basically saying, oh, I know it don't taste good, but it's still good. What? I know it don't taste good, but it's good for you. Come on, man. Tell the story, man. Tell the whole truth. Tell the whole truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. You're going to look bad. You're going to look bad. This is why you don't see a lot of Baker Bros over here, because they know what time it is. I get it. That's your guy. And I'm not hating on him. He's not bad. He's not a bad quarterback at all. But I refuse to let a Baker Bro come in here and paint a part of the picture. It doesn't work over here. Go somewhere else with that. Adam Schaffer's. Keep it real, Baker will never take a team deep in the playoffs. I don't care what he has on the team. He's inaccurate and inconsistent. Baker's career tells his story. I'm just saying. And the truth is right there in your face. And some people just don't care about the truth. People don't care. Sometimes the truth is a lie to some people. Even though the facts, the reality show you. Reality will show you that he's never had a consistent career. Never had back-to-back consistent seasons. Never. But the minute you talk about Baker Mayfield, you're hating. It is not hating, man. It's the facts. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at Baker Mayfield. I mean, goodness gracious. And to tie that in with Baker Mayfield, what Mike Evans is, didn't Mike Evans' agent paraphrase what Mike Evans wants to do? He wants to play with an elite quarterback. And he wants to compete for Super Bowls. And he wants to be featured. So, if you go put that in context and take those words from Mike Evans' agent and put it to the Bucs don't check two of those boxes. Let that sink in, folks. If Mike Evans wants to play for an elite quarterback, does that scratch the Bucs out of the conversation?
But Jeff Stoutland opens his mouth and the shirt's tucked in and down, and all of a sudden you're straightening your shoulders.
I'm just saying, if Mike Evans' agent said Mike Evans wants to play for an elite quarterback and a Super Bowl team, a team that's contending for Super Bowl, doesn't that rule the Bucs out? I'm just asking a question. If that's the case, I know they're trying to manipulate the contract situation and all that, but if that's the case, now the agent job is to get his client the biggest contract he can get. But if that is true, not saying it's true, but it came from his camp, so where there's smoke, there's fire. Elite quarterback and a team that's ready to contend for the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, the Bucs don't check the boxes.
Truly, this is not a joke. Could only play one position. Point guard. I lied about being able to play right tackle. You can go back and watch my combine. I look stiff as they come at a right tackle stance, and so I was praying to God wherever I went.
I'm just saying. If he wants to play with an elite quarterback, like an elite is not the same word. You can like a guy all you want to, but is he elite? I like a lot of guys, but I don't rock with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. If there's smoke, there's fire. So if he wants to play with an elite quarterback, okay, so first and foremost, he wants to get paid $27, $28, $29 million. Number two, he wants to play with an elite quarterback. Number three, Super Bowl contending team. And number four, he wants to be featured. I'm just saying. Does that rule the Bucs out? Don't that rule the Bucs out of the conversation? Because Mike Evans is at a point of his career. I don't want to see Mike Evans end up like Julio Jones playing for the Titans or DeAndre Hopkins playing for the Titans. I want to see, if Mike Evans do leave, I would like to see him play for a top level team. A team that's ready to compete for the Super Bowl. There are several teams that fit the criteria that he's looking for.
So this drill now, we take this into a game, right? What's going on? This is a game like a twist. You got to tip and tee, tackle and twist. And you're the tackle.
The Ravens, the Texans, Kansas City, even the Cowboys. And if you want to throw in some wild cards, you can throw in I don't think he's gonna go to none of those teams, but if you just want teams that can just straight up pay him. I mean, Buffalo, that's another one. If Dave Canales want to get Mike Evans over, the Panthers got a ton of cap space. The Panthers got a ton of cap. I'm not saying he's going to the Panthers. I'm just saying Dave Canales. The Panthers can pay him whatever the hell he wants. Now he won't be contending for no Super Bowl, but he will be featured. He won't be playing with no elite quarterback. He'll be playing with a quarterback shorter than Baker Mayfield. I think Bryce Young, I don't think he's going to be really good. I'm just saying, Mike Evans will retire as a Buck, but he might not. There's a chance that he might not play for the Bucks next year because the Bucks, what he looking for according to his agent, don't check the boxes. There's a lot of good O-linemen in this draft, folks. How can the Bucks not get a good O-lineman in this draft in the interior? How can the Bucks not get a good interior O-lineman in this draft? Let's get back to the cooking. I want to know, how can the Bucks not get a good interior O-lineman in this draft? It's too many. It's too many. One too many. One too many.
Looks like they're going to switch it up. Eyes on Stoutland, that is for sure.
I want the Bucks to get a good O-line coach. Joe Gilbert was terrible. Let's keep it real, folks. Joe Gilbert was not good. Graham Barton, Walt Frazier. Oh, I'm sorry, Zach Frazier. Graham Barton, Don Beebe, Jackson Powers Johnson. How can we not get an O-line? How can we not draft one interior O-lineman in this draft in the first 2 rounds? Yeah, we got some holes, brother. But hey, some Bucks fans don't believe that we got holes. Some Bucks fans believe we're 13, 14, 11, 12, 13, 14 win team. Despite the holes. Oh, look, I know the Bucks got holes, but they can still win 11, 12, 13 games. What? Are you kidding me? Like, what football are you watching? We don't watch football the same. As of right now, the Bucks are literally an average team. Until otherwise, you can't make the Bucks an above average team when you don't have the evidence in the last 2 years. You don't have the evidence to say the Bucks going to be a 12, 11, 12, 13 win team. You don't have no evidence to show that, to prove that. Top 5 roster. I remember they Bucks fans jumping around beating their chest. Top 5 roster. What? What are y'all looking at, man? We don't look at. I can tell you this much. Some of the Bucks fans, we don't look at football the same. We don't look at football the same. There's no way. Bucks 11, 12, 13 win team. How? What are you basing this on? 17 and 17 the last 2 years. What are you basing this on? Go look at some of those comments of some of the Bucks fans for 2024. They think the Bucks going to win 11, 12, 13 games. Like, where are you getting this from? With all these holes, they think the Bucks are 11, 12, 13 win team. How in the what? This is why I never understood why some of those fans, those Bucks fans, those powers and sea fans, much respect to them, they never come over here and have a conversation with me. Never. They avoid me like the plague because they know, because I'm going to ask questions. Because I'm going to challenge them to prove that. Prove to me, convince me the Bucks are 11, 12 win, 13 win team. Prove to me that. And they can't do it. They can't do it. Because they're going to name call, they're going to use sign language. You know, shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right. They need to be right. Sign language. SIGN. Shame, insult, guilt, and the N stands for need to be right. And that's what a lot of Bucks fans do. The N part of the sign. They need to be right regardless. That's what happens when people don't have a good argument. They start shaming you, insulting you. Guilt trip. Need to be right. Hell no. Anyway, the Bucks got a top 5 roster right now in 2024. What are you Buck fan? But they fun to talk to though, man. What they fun. It's fun to read some of the comments, man, in Facebook groups. I don't like Facebook groups because it's just like hectic and it's so chaotic. I like stuff like this because I can actually talk to you. I ain't got time to be typing. I'm not a keyboard warrior. You want to talk to me? Get in this locker room. Get in this locker room. Now, as I wrap this video up, today is a good day for the Bucks brass. A lot of good O linemen, very deep class, and good O linemen in the interior. There will be guys available at 26 for the Bucks to draft. There should be no excuses. And things can change, and I'm gonna do another video, a post combine video on the guys that stood out to me in each position that the Bucks really need to fill. Okay, so that video might come Tuesday. That video is gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna have me a list of guys at each position: receiver, cornerback, interior O line, running back, receiver, quarterback. The guys and the guys' names I'm going to put on this list is the guys that fit the Bucks, that can help the Bucks. I'm not going to list all the guys. I'm going to list the guys that will be available, that could be available when the Bucks pick in the first, second, third round. So we cool with that. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Shout out to everybody, all the Pirates Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining this live stream. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. I'll most likely talk with y'all Tuesday. So fire those cannons, seize the day, raise a flag. One hashtag today, and that is called hashtag Trenches Matter. Roger that. Out of that.